On January 12th, 2010, my family and I were building cages with nuns from a village. These cages would be for the many rabbits that the village would soon have. We then left to go to a school where we would be staying for the next week. We were supposed to have left at 4 p.m., but instead we left at 5. We were driving up a hill when people began to run down the hill toward our car. That was when the earthquake hit, and we happened to be right in the epicenter. The shaking continued for what felt like 30 seconds, and when everything finally stopped moving, what we saw was devastation everywhere. Pieces of buildings began to fall down, and sides of buildings caved in. This was the first earthquake Haiti had had since 200 years ago. People were running everywhere, trying to get away from the collapsing buildings. Dust and tears covered every face. We drove along, trying hard to continue as far as we could in our car, but soon the whole village was out on the street. As we climbed the hill, the more devastation and hurt we found. As we began to reach the top of the hill, we saw children with blood covering their faces. The school that was located right next to our apartment building had completely fallen down, right as school has gotten out. The roof of the building had completely fallen. 50 children had escaped just in time, but the other 250 were still trapped inside. We left late that morning and finally saw all the damage that happened to the rest of Haiti. People were scared to go back into their homes, so many people made little forts out of the rubble that was laying on the ground. The roofs of buildings were the most unstable part of the buildings because their houses were mostly made for hurricanes and not for earthquakes. We left 2 days later on an army plane that came to bring people back to the Dominican Republic. It is weird to think that just the day before, we had no clue that the children of Haiti would have been put into this situation. They have lost almost everything: friends, home, and family members.